Alrighty, we got a week 2 of July week recap. Pretty good week. I think there was only really just maybe just two really A plus setups, and then anything that happened, if it did, was pretty just discretional. But yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna just jump straight into this because I got a bunch of shit to do. So, starting off on Monday, where we at? Monday. Alright, so we zoom in here. We didn't really get much of any setups here. As you can see, we kind of just chopped up here, started generating equal lows there. But the only really play that I saw, maybe two potential plays, but was this. So off open, and of course I have the restart as soon as I start the fucking video, bro. Restart trading view because stupid piece of shit. Oh my gosh, it's so annoying. Monday's up here. Alright, so to start off, market open. We get this swing low, okay, in a way protected as well because we swept this low inside of a fair value gap. That 15-minute ended up holding. Higher time frame structure, we do look like we're just generating liquidity here. Alright, just generating there. We get pretty strong bullish pressure to the upside. Alright, you can see here, we end up inversing this gap here. We bounce out of this gap. I don't think it was 50% of this range. No, we probably fell short of it just a bit. But yeah, we are delivering from this 4 hour. We're inside of this bearish 4 hour here, but it looks pretty bullish to me in my opinion. The hourly looks pretty bullish. Again, rejected out of here, inverse this gap. But then just kind of really a slow, chop day here. I don't remember if this was a bank holiday. No, I don't think it was, no. But yeah, hourly looks pretty chopped. 15-minute, again, just swept that intermediate low, hit EQ this range, and then we got to bounce back up. Now we do have this 15-minute gap here that I'm going to mark out. Alright, we have the 5-minute gap up here as well. And just off open, we kind of didn't really present any entries. I mean, if we got this 30-second or something before that, that would have been a pretty nice play, but just didn't really get anything, and then just a bunch of wicks after that, and then yeah, we kind of we get this short here. All right, we have this 1 minute down there, and I believe we had a 30-second. Yeah, 30-second right there. We got a 30-second up here, down here as well. Now the reason why I didn't like this play here was kind of just strictly because I don't know. This low here is protected in my opinion, and for two, we don't really. So protected low, there's no really good any break-even point. For two, we're not delivering off of anything. Let me see. We swept this high up here, right? We swept that high up there. But what is this actually delivering from, right? Really nothing. I mean, I guess we hit this rejection wick, but I mean, yeah, it's just a lack of. There's really just nothing we're really actually delivering off of here. And I'm not really chasing these lows here. I mean, yes, there's low resistance, but it'd make more sense if the market just builds more structure and then hits a key level before we end up reversing down. Because as we said, this is a protected low, right? We bounced out of an hourly, a 4 hour, got some reaction up. So that's why I didn't personally like this trade. And if you did take this, going break even once we have, just a push lower would make sense. Because as you can see here, once we, okay, I don't know what that did there, but there we go. Right here, we start generating low resistance, so it's a pretty obvious cue to at least go break even if you're in this trade. Ends up failing, of course, and then there was a 1 minute here that got presented. All right, 1 minute right there, inverse that. The DOL could have been up here because, as we said, we were kind of bullish to start off, right? On a 5 minute, let's see what that's looking like. I mean, yeah, this looks like a really bullish setup in my opinion. Another thing I forgot to mention as well. So I just remember because I looked over this, but we failed to get an entry here, which is what we would have liked, but we actually ended up getting this 5 minute. Okay, and this was a really good play here in my opinion at first, but I liked this. This looked great, but we hit this internal high by the time we get an entry. So there's no break-even point. There's no generated liquidity. I mean, we got this high over here, right? But yeah, it's just not not really ideal, bro. So that's why I didn't take that. It was also really early. It's market open, just off market open on a Monday, so that was pretty dangerous. But yeah, really, I would have loved to take this if we, you know, had some generated liquidity to go break even at. But yeah, that's why that failed. And then also that was avoidable, as well as this one, just because protected low. Once again, not delivering off anything. Really not much confirmation that we want to dump lower. So no setups this day. I mean, this 1 minute, like I said, could have been discretional. I saw this and figured, I can see how this hits with the targets up there. I think 100% would have been a break even if I did take this, but yeah, that's about it. And then it's gonna be it for Monday. Now we can quickly go into Tuesday. Once we hit that, yeah, we really don't get much. Maybe the 5 minute has something. Nothing on the 5 minute, just nothing but chop work. Yeah, we just start generating there. So that's gonna be it for that day. Next day, Tuesday. Tuesday we actually gave a really, really good setup. All right. So off open. Well, if we just look at the DOL pretty quickly, end up re-sweeping that high. Okay. Now we actually delivered off something. We delivered off this intermediate high. Maybe there's an hourly or 15-minute. I would assume nothing much on the hour. Maybe the 15-minute. Let's see. So yeah, we're delivering out of this 15-minute over here to the left. Okay, so now we're actually delivering out of something. Not only are we delivering out of something, but we developed some sort of bearish structure. Excuse me. So starting off on the 4-hour, we get this change in state paired with this break of structure here. We're clearly displacing through these gaps. On the hourly, we actually inverse this gap over here to the left, and right there, invert. Okay, well, it's not showing for some reason. There we go. We inverse that gap there, and we're delivering out of this bearish gap here. Now what else? Let me check the daily, make sure I'm not missing anything. I mean, really, the only thing I can think of or see right now is just this low resistance that we're starting to generate. That's about it. We do have this daily sell side that we can look for. Okay, this daily sell side, as well as this intermediate low, unfilled 15-minute, and then just the rest of this low resistance down there. So that's really what the DOL pretty much is. If we do want to be bullish or maybe flip and get a retrace up to 50% of this, range, we can target London high at least. But of course, we would need to see some bullish confirmation. And right now, it just looks pretty bearish. So in this case scenario, we'll set up a condition. So we have an unfilled 5-minute up here. Ends up getting hit off market open. Unfilled 15-minute. Well, the 15-minute was unfilled. The 5-minute wasn't. It just got retested. But yeah, go down to the 1-minute time frame, or we'll just go down to 30-second. That's the time of the entry. You can see we hit that right off open. We hit that. Well, okay, we got this candle. We hit it, got some rejection lower, and we went back up, formed this little order block, and then closed below it with the CISD. Almost got the IFEG here. This would have been pitch perfect. But yeah, that kind of sucks. But yeah, we swept this lower time frame DOL, ended up forming low resistance to the top here, and then we ended up getting the IFEG. This is the setup, right? Stop loss can be above this little breaker. Target like a 1-to-1 towards the sell side. Stop loss above the breaker, above the IFEG, above the CISD there, and yeah, we did hit the internal low here, but that didn't really matter to me because the bias was bearish, as well as if you scale up on the time frame a little bit, you can see that we clearly have this obvious sell side, this daily low, which we know for sure that is going to get hit, right? So that can be our break-even point, and then our final targets for 1-to-1 around the sell side. Maybe aim a little lower, and if you really wanted to drag your fucking nutsack, just target all this low resistance down here. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't want to do that. Obviously, not a high RR trader, and it's ended up getting break-even anyways if you did that. So that's the one play I saw here. I liked longs, honestly, off this. I like longs if we would have gotten it, but we just never really got a good close, as you can see here. Because we did form low resistance up here, I figured maybe if we do want to use this as a rejection point to retrace and then potentially go lower towards that low resistance, now would be a good time because we have for one, we have a good break-even point, the swing high. All right, we have a nice resweep, and we have the LRLR above. That's great generated liquidity, but if we're not bearish, then this is going to be a protected high. So once I saw we didn't really get much of a good close here, I didn't bother taking this. By the time we got a good close, right, a really good, displacement candle here, we already took out the internal high, no break-even point. So our safety net is completely gone. So if we are bearish, we're absolutely fucked because the next target here is a protected high. So that's why we didn't take this. Starts chopping. I would have liked an entry here if we got a good close, inversing this 1 minute, but we never did. And then we inversed it a little bit later, inversing the 5 minute. But at this point in time, like, you can obviously see the deal, not the DOL. Price action is not looking too favorable. We're kind of just chopping up here. No internal structure. We can't go break even at anything. Yeah, it just does not look like an ideal setup at all. And for one, on the hard time frame, we're bearish, so we can't just predict that we're gonna reverse just because, I don't know. So it's best to be patient here. End up dumping lower. We get a retrace here into a 5 minute. I didn't really personally see any entries. Price looked kind of just really stagnant to me. Like, we're not, I don't know, this just looks really fucking ugly, so I don't like anything there. Yeah, we ended up delivering. We didn't end up taking all of the sell side, but ended up hitting like this low at least, and then started reversing from there. Now, so that was really the only play off that market open play. That was really it. Now this next day, pretty discretional, but where is it? Okay, there we go. So we are obviously in a bullish trend here. Massive death candle here, and then followed just by slow and up, like just a really slow uptrend. On the 4 hour, let's check. We are delivering off this low here. No fair value gap from what I see to the left. We have this sell side here that I would like to get hit. I would like that sell side. Considering that we are in a bullish trend, we just took out this LRLR. We closed below it. But after sweeping that, we still have these relatively equal lows and just other sell side targets. But this reaction looks pretty fucking bullish to me, so we'll just have to see what market does. 15 minute gets inverse. We have London High. London High looks like a pretty obvious draw to me, right? We can look for that. Let me just go back on the lower time frame. Let me actually bring this back to market open. So 15 minute does not get inverse. I forgot I just showed the whole kill zone. So we don't know what we're going to. We could easily reverse off this run lower, so we're going to have to wait. There's no key levels we can really react off of. The only thing I can possibly see is a LRLR here, LRLR right there, and see what happens off that. But off market open, we just pump up. No retrace. We haven't hit any targets. If I want to look for shorts, I got to see at least the key level get hit, and there's no key level here. We have London High just sitting above here waiting to get hit, right? Now here, once you pump up, give no entry, we have this unfilled 5 minute down here. Okay, this is what I'm looking to get hit. All right, if we end up blasting through this, I can look for a short to this LRLR. If not, then yeah. We open up a 15 minute at 10 a.m., so we can also look for that as well. And off a little bit after 10 a.m. opens during the macro. Once it ended, we presented a reversal here after sweeping this low, which is our manipulation. The 15 minute and the 5 minute resweep, also sweep of this low here, and then we gave a pretty decent reaction. Didn't end up inversing the 1 minute and kind of printed a big wick there. I didn't like that, so I looked at the 30 second and I took this play here. All right, it was off that. There we go. Honestly, kind of bullshit. I didn't like the entry because at the 1 minute we didn't quite close above it. We still, formed a huge wick above it. So this is a pretty shit entry. Really, no good entry was provided here. I like this 30 second, but I didn't like that we swept the internal high, and then also we didn't even close above that the 30 second nor the 1 minute. So that's what I didn't like about it. But what I did really love was the structure. We had LR up here. All right, we had relatively equal highs up here, as well as relatively equal highs with London high from this swing high. And then, yeah, this was kind of just some bullshit trade. I don't know why the fuck this did not hit, but would have been a break-even trade anyways. We're already up over 1R here, I believe. Yeah, over 1R. So that was gonna be it for that day. If I play the rest out, let's see what happened. Yeah, just really nothing. We pump up, chop, give some sort of continuation setup here, and then everything just goes to shit. Looks like ass. Now we have Thursday. All right, Thursday, really, really, really good A+ setup here. Very fucking clean. This was so beautiful, bro. So fucking beautiful. All right. I'm just gonna get straight into it. So, same entry really as Monday's trade or Tuesday's trade. That short, just literally the opposite bias, right? For 4 hours. So really, this trade was based off of classic AMD continuation. The 4 hour, we can see that we have this obvious uptrend that we are in right now, clearly displacing higher and higher, breaking structure, inversing gaps. Next DOL on the higher time frame is this unfilled 4 hour. All right, we also have this buy side a little bit higher, but this is the next closest objective on the hourly. Let's see, we did manipulate into this hourly, sponsoring this move here. So equilibrium would be right there where price swept. Right aligns. Oh, wrong low. There we go. So EQ aligns pretty nicely with that unfilled hourly right there. And off open, that's really what we manipulate into. And that unfilled hourly, we also hit a 15-minute. There's some other time frame for value gaps as well, like the 30-minute, the 5-minute got hit. But yeah, we manipulate and obviously get some very clean rejection out of that. And then after that gets hit, we actually edge it right here. We edge that low, all right, that unfilled gap. As you can see, look on the left, you see the cursor, we did not quite hit that. We also swept this data low there too, so that's also great. And then after edging it, we end up resweeping this low to finally take that level out. CISD plus IFEG, very basic entry. We have equal highs right here to go break even at. Very good low time frame DOL that we got generated. Then we compare with the higher time frame because we also have, right, this buy side up here. All right, so that's another obvious target we can aim for. And my mouth is getting dry. And then boom, that 4 hour gets hit. And from there, not really looking much for anything else. Let's see, we do hit this 5-minute and give a continuation out of it, but I don't like this because for one, it's way too high in premium. For two, the entry we already hit the break-even point. So there's no generated liquidity. And then you're pretty much just hoping for the best, targeting this, I don't know, whatever buy side or fair value gaps we have over here to the left. So I don't like this, way too high in premium. Just don't like this. It's a very obvious setup. You know it's going to lose. Like, yes, we had great displacement. Yes, we had a change in state. But there's no generated liquidity. It's not a good manipulation. Way too high in premium. Just so much shit that's wrong about it. We're inside of a bearish hourly fair value gap, or 4 hour. Excuse me. But, yeah, I don't like anything here. We do end up getting this 5-minute short, which I thought was pretty decent. You know, we swept some buy side over here, obviously, is what it looks like. Looks like we swept like Monday's Asia high. Hit this unfilled gap up there. Unfilled 15-minute we had right there that we could have gone break even at. But yeah, I just didn't really like any plays after this. But this was a pretty good discretional play that you could have probably tried on eval. And yeah, ends up fucking smacking. And then we end up resweeping this low, giving a very, very clean reaction out of it. And this in itself was a long setup, right? This itself was, there's just really no target. I don't like any targets here. So I don't know what you would have aimed for. But yeah, that's gonna be it for that day. Really not much else. And then on to the final day, Friday. So this day was pretty interesting. Off open, you can see we pumped up. We had some LR here. We had a data low. We pumped up, absolutely no entry, hitting this data high. We hit this unfilled hourly, and we actually end up generating liquidity here on the higher time frame. So I didn't want to take that because we didn't manipulate anything crazy. So I didn't want to take anything. We ended up dumping here. All right, we dumped here and versus the 1 minute. I actually took this play on eval. Took this, wanted to see this low get hit down here, data low, this low, and then maybe this low. Let me go on the 4 hours, see what else we had. Really not much. Yeah, we were delivering out of this unfilled hourly up here, generated more liquidity, so I was really hoping for like just, I guess, a resweep, and then we continue higher, but pretty unfortunate we didn't get that. And I took this on eval. It's not necessarily the best play at all, by any means, but I just took it just because it was worth the risk. It was an eval, so got fucking wrecked on that shit. But yeah, we swept these internal highs, hit this unfilled hourly, generated more low resistance, and then had huge displacement lower, but the 5 minute ends up getting respected. Now we do present a setup here, but I don't like this because for one, 3 minute IFEG there, protected high up here. All right, we swept an hourly. We also added more low resistance, so I didn't see that as a good lower time frame generated target, so I didn't take that. We end up hitting Asia high, and then start rejecting out of that. We start chopping, and then boom. This is the most textbook structure build-up ever. All right, we have very obvious accumulation zone, relatively equal highs up here, previous day highs at target, which is the final high of this low resistance here. And then if you check the 5 minute, we have an unfilled gap, or not unfilled, but we have this 5 minute that we're currently in. I think we have a 15 minute. Okay, there's never mind, there's no 15 minute. So really all you would have to see is just a manipulation lower, just very classic AMD manipulation lower, distribution higher towards the target. Boom, we get that here. Great manipulation lower. This is fucking great. If I mark this out, dude, this is fucking amazing, bro. This is just perfect. Like, it doesn't get any better than this. If you okay, never mind, bro. I'm not gonna do that. And I think I was using the wrong fucking tool. I'm an absolute retard. It was this one right here. But anyways, you get the gist of it. That's pretty much what it is. See, this 30-second looks very, very nice. Generate equal highs. Oh, this is perfect. This is absolute perfection. Generate equal highs up there. Really just, this setup looks fucking beautiful. When did the 1 minute take place? Okay, the 1 minute inversed. Dude, this is absolutely beautiful. I mean, I guess we generated a 3 minute, but I really wouldn't give a fuck about that. Bounce out of this 3 minute BPR. Alright, we also had what other time frame do we have? Hit this 1 minute order block. Maybe a 4 minute. Okay, bounce out of the 4 minute. 2 different 4 minutes as well. Bounce out of this 5 minute plus that order block. Yeah, man, this is just fucking beautiful. And this shit would have hit if Trump did not speak. Oh, shit. Damn, that would have been I would have been pissed, bro. You would have to have like a dodgy type stop loss for that. But we did hit was OTE of this 5 minute rejection block. But yeah, you would have got fucked if you took that. That would have sucked right there. Maybe go on break even once the equal highs got generated. Wait for a pullback and a confirmation setup to the upside. I don't know. But yeah, this shit, like, I feel like this 100% would have hit if Trump didn't speak. Or he didn't speak, he tweeted something out about Iran deals or some bullshit like that, and then just fucking dump. Right, we just dump. Price did end up running back up a couple minutes, not a couple minutes, a couple fucking hours later. Let's see, 10:30. We don't hit this high until 12, so around like 2 hours maybe. That's gonna be it for this week recap. Pretty simple week. Briefly go over the setups here. We'll start off with Monday. Just do a brief overview. I'm so tired of speaking. It's 10:30. I gotta get to bed. Fucking hell. Where's Monday? Tuesday. Okay, Monday's over here. Pretty obvious day. We're pretty bullish. We get a bullish move here. Don't present any entries. The 5 minute is invalidated, and then we give a 1 minute short, which is complete dog shit. Protected low, just not bearish whatsoever, not delivering off anything, and then we end up running up. Nothing really presented here at all. Yeah, nothing on Monday. Tuesday, we're in higher time frame, bearish structure. Okay, if we want to be bullish or flip bullish to maybe get a retrace before hitting that LRLR, which is the main target, we'll use this at 5 minute and 15 minute as a condition. Market open, we get a nice patty, nice Judah swing, immediate reaction, perfect IFEG, great generated targets here. We have this daily low, not data low, and then this sell side we can target. Pretty simple fucking day. Price action was kind of shit. We did dump and we got some good movement lower, but price action just looks really slow and shitty. That's that. Pretty good trade. I'm tired. Wednesday. Really kind of confused on the buys. We had some great sell side targets, but we're also in this huge gap that we can't really anticipate when we're gonna go lower. We end up pumping up higher, pumping up, and then we edge London high, right? We don't quite hit it yet, and then now we have this as our buy side target, so we'll wait to get confirmation to hit that. End up chopping, fill this unfilled 15 minute, hit this unfilled 5 minute, decent reaction, really no valid entry points, everything looked dog shit here. LR to go break even at, relatively equal highs on this buy side, and the final target London high, never gets hit, break even trade, and this trade just ultimately fails. Really shit price action what I'm looking at this week. This price action looks complete fucking dog shit. Thursday is by far the best day. All right. We're pretty bullish. Okay, we're pretty bullish. Next buy side target, as you can see, we're just obvious uptrend, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Next, we end up breaking structure and everything on the higher time frame, inversing gaps, and the next closest proximity target is going to be this unfilled 4 hour above us. And off open, well, right before open, we have this very beautiful accumulation, and right at open, we manipulate lower, hitting this data low, hitting the sell side, which is also an unfilled 15 minute, unfilled hourly, all that good stuff. Immediate reaction, inversing the 30-second, getting a change in state, equal highs above, accumulation above, buy side above, untapped 4 hour above. A plus fucking targets, bro. This is just complete A plus targets, bro. It doesn't get any better than that. Burn up, and then we get just some random price action. Definitely a lot better than any of the other days. I will say that. And then Friday. Boy, do I have a bone to pick with this motherfucking day. Off open, we run up. Alright, I figured we'd hit all these targets and then maybe get a reaction lower. End up generating more LRLR below. We give somewhat of a short, I guess. Depending on what entry model you took, you could have got fucked here, but my lesson here is, because I've done this quite a few times, is if we have opposing targets, right? Like right now we have LRLR above, we have LRLR below on a lower time frame, we have a data low. Like, dude, just stay the fuck off the charts. Don't trade anything until a key level gets hit. Like, if my sell side key level is going to be this data low and just this sell side in general, wait for this to get hit. And wait for us maybe even to hit this low and then give a reaction and then go long. But if we have sell side and buy side on both sides, just don't trade in between that, because I'm just gonna get fucked every single time. All right, that's my lesson here. Now, because this is bullshit. This is also an invalid setup because we hit the internal low, the next internal low, and we also just literally just added to this low resistance. So that's a terrible fucking entry. End up running up, hit Asia. We start consolidating before hitting this buy side target up here, and instead of just taking the fucking setup here and hoping for this to get hit, same thing here, we wait for internal structure. Okay, what we got is a very, very awesome accumulation zone. Great manipulation lower, filling that 5 minute. Good manipulation back to, not manipulation, just good pullback, right? Not a pullback, because I was expecting this to be our distribution phase. But we get a good reaction. Okay, we have a stack of liquidity, relatively equal highs, previous day high. This looked beautiful, okay? Beautiful. Doesn't end up getting hit, but I really, really thought this one would get hit. Trump spoke. I'd like to say that is what affected this, because maybe we pushed up, hit this target, and then hit the slowdown here. But yeah, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But anyways, that's gonna be it for this week recap, and hopefully it was pretty informative. Hopefully I can remember something and learn something coming into this upcoming week, and that's gonna be it. So I'm out. Peace.